Beautiful.
It's been honestly very sad to see the lack of interest for an Akshay Kumar movie since the pandemic got over, and we as avid theatre goers who go in for movies week in and week out, the hype around an Akshay Kumar starrer has almost become a regular occurrence versus an event. This, coupled with the lack of resonance and understanding that Akshay has with the concerns of the audience, has led to a huge disconnection, leading to many of his releases going unnoticed. I think we have spoken multiple times regarding the fickle nature of this industry and how one can be the reason for their own downfall if they don't adapt and understand that things are not going the way they would like. Especially when you can just reflect a few years ago where you had one of the craziest and hottest streaks as a Bollywood lead. In one of the previous videos that I posted, a comment by Recap Mishra stayed with me where he said, Akshay Kumar is a classic example of a Scorsese protagonist whose pride is eventually the cause of their downfall. This especially breaks my heart because when Akshay is actually showcasing earnest performances in movies like Mission Raniganj and Sarfara, they are falling on deaf ears because one is of the perception of the mediocre work that has mostly been consistent with his filmography since the last few years. Stepping in for Khel Khel Mein, I literally went with zero expectations. Still hopeful though that maybe this may be a fun ride, and I was so surprised on what an entertaining time this was at the movies, but I wondered, at what cost? The moment I am finally seeing a glimpse of the OG Akshay Kumar in a comedy film, where he is finally relaxed and showcasing the effortless prowess he has with his comic timing, there is no one to witness it. What was the need to clash with a juggernaut like Stree 2? What is this obsession with everyone wanting a piece of the pie on a long weekend? Only to reflect and get a reality check that maybe this wasn't conducive to business. Maybe if we just released this film on a regular weekend, there would actually be takers for something fun and carefree. I digress, but I wanted to communicate my frustration before talking about the film because it's genuinely a funny movie that most people have dismissed under the guise of it being a remake. See the dreadful impact that perception can have of the marketing of your film? Khel Khel Mein is the official remake of the 2016 Italian film Perfect Strangers. Please don't pretend as if everyone is well versed in India about this Italian film in order to just dismiss this movie. A movie that has been adapted into the Indian context by director Mudassar Aziz, who has previously directed movies like Happy Bhag Jayegi and Pati Patni Aur Wo. Rishabh Malik, played by Akshay Kumar, is attending his wife's sister's wedding, where all his friends are also arriving. On the night of the Sangeet, the group of friends, which includes two other couples and a bachelor, decide to party in their hotel suite, only for one to have a fun idea of playing a game where everyone puts their phones down and the moment it rings, it will become public property. All with the intention of trying to prove that no one has anything to hide in this friend group. The secrets that get unraveled as it gets exposed that the relationships are not as hunky-dory as one would presume forms the basic premise of this comedy featuring a stellar ensemble cast. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch Khel Khel Mein in theatres or not. The underwhelming aspects. Fardeen Khan ain't got it, and concluding comedy affairs. For a film that is dependent on the natural comic timing of actors and for the sequence of events to take a dramatic turn, the film demands for the cast to be spontaneous, quick-witted, and also possess the gravitas required for the emotional moments. I am all for a redemption arc for any actor, and Fardeen Khan has been formulating his comeback for years, first starting with Hira Mandi of course. But it's safe to say the chinks in the armor regarding the actor's range still exist, neither having seamless comic timing nor having the depth required to convey his emotional arc in the film. It's slightly bland, and this was the case with most of Fardeen's run at the movies during his prime, if we can call it that. I don't want to pull someone down specifically, but this whole movement of trying to revive careers of actors who were heavily criticized for their lack of ability in front of camera for years just because we have become nostalgia merchants rather than objective viewers is rather nauseating at this point. The film packs the punch with its gags and build up the screenplay where a presumably fun night turns into absolute chaos. But the concluding moments of the film, which lead to chase sequences and characters running in several directions, slightly transitions into becoming a Laurel Hardy sketch where it's heavily dependent on physical comedy more than anything else. Some of these moments are juvenile and lowbrow comedy, but it's very fleeting. which is such a rarity for comedy films. I will be safe to report that through most of the running time, Khel Khel Mein is a genuinely hilarious time at the movies. The good. Genuinely funny writing, with 3 also hitting it out of the park, especially in its first half with its comic timing of the ensemble cast, which was backed by clever writing. I found Khel Khel Mein to be an equally fun ride, with gags that don't depend on sleaze or double meaning dialogues. Writing that strictly depends on the circumstances and the reactions of the characters, extracting several funny moments in the film. I was in a semi-packed theatre. The sad part is that this movie is mostly catering to the urban audience. Pan-India is more or less not even aware of this film releasing. But of the people that were in my theatre, the cackles from the audiences were endless. There is just something about Akshay Kumar and his harami smile that instantly makes you burst into laughter. And Akshay as plastic surgeon Rishabh Malik brought back so many memories on why we love Akshay in this space at the movies. It starts with the first scene of trying to formulate a fake story to get into a flight he is getting late for. What's even more surprising is that the likes of Taapsee Pannu and Ammy Virk provide equally great support with their comic timing. I underestimated Taapsee especially, who as the quintessential pinned Punjabi girl doing the gidda for her TikTok is absolutely hilarious. Her husband, played by Ammy Virk, also presents the constantly sada hua Lala from West Delhi on point. Both named Harpreet, having saved each other's name as Harpreet male and Harpreet female, had me in splits. Emmy trying to come with alternatives of games, requesting to play Antakshari or Dumb Charades. Akshay always being asked for answers, replying कि मैं यहाँ का सरपंच हूँ क्या? It just brought back the OG days of the 2000s comedies in Bollywood we absolutely loved. There is a phone call that Taapsee receives from a friend doing a full gossip vomit session with her, and a case of confusion with Emmy and Fardeen that had the entire theatre rolling with laughter. It was such a split feeling for me though. I was loving it, but it also broke my heart because I see the business the film is doing and it's not looking really good. The build-up of the screenplay. As the secrets get unraveled, of course the casual laughs and banter don't last for long. As the cracks within the relationships get exposed, slowly and steadily the resentment and anger builds within the individuals, causing for the interactions to get more dramatic, rowdy, and for everyone to become more unhinged and drunk. This initially causes for great dramatic moments. Again, I say this, Akshay is brilliant in this film, absolutely killing it with his one-liners and wit initially, and still holding on to providing sensitivity and an emotional touch in the dramatic portions, shining especially in a beautiful scene where he comforts his daughter on the phone. Taapsee also shines as the revelations in the conservative household shared with Ammy Virk get exposed. I really enjoyed Taapsee in this film. It felt like she was back to her Delhi Engineering College GTBIT roots of West Delhi. Her rants in pure Punjabi with Ammy Virk was so on point. While actors like Aditya Seal, Vaani Kapoor and Pragya Jaiswal provide good support, I think it's the trio of Akshay, Taapsee and Emmy that really carry this film. The film also provides certain curveballs regarding the relationships between the characters that I did not see coming. So for a film that is mostly set in one location, it's tough to consistently grasp the attention of the viewer, which the film does with its well-edited runtime and enough surprises in the second half. An entertaining time at the movies, and to see glimpses of the OG Akshay we fell in love with and want to see more of just generated mixed feelings within me. The egos that come with wanting to compete for the top prize, wanting to capitalize on the revenue that can be generated on a precious long weekend, is only making a film like this self-implode, as most people are interested in watching Stree 2. I think this film could have hugely benefited from being a dark horse with a solo release, because I saw families in my theatre, husbands and wives with their parents, as the comedy is especially catered to that demographic that was having such a laugh at the movies. If you're really looking for a casual fun time at the films, this really is a well-written and genuinely funny movie. Whether Akshay's downfall in terms of being a box office draw is irreversible at this point is something I just can't make comments on. Maybe the comeback will happen with Jolly LLB 3, but in the midst of many wanting to dismiss this film as one of those mediocre films in his filmography post the pandemic, I want to assure you it's not the case. It's almost impossible to break this perception among most of you, but I have to say, I had loads of fun and a great laugh with Khel Khel Mein, something I am sure most of you did not anticipate. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Khel Khel Mein. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.